to ask. I need your opinion. How did you feel as far as Franklin's fate?
Oh God. Um, it's definitely an emotional roller coaster because there were different outcomes available. Of course, I never really saw Franklin death, but it was hurtful to see it because
Yes,
the character
definitely.
has been in our, well, for me, I can speak for myself. You get emotionally attached to characters, unfortunately, and we, even though he did a lot of dirt, but I think
A
the
lot.
issue is with me is more so I'm looking at it as Franklin versus the CIA, and I wanted him to
That's
win.
what all of us, I think, were looking at it as.
Yeah, not
The man.
Franklin the killer, Franklin the drug dealer. We thinking of Franklin versus CIA, and of course, we never really win when it comes to the government. So I think that's part of my conflict is like, dang, I wanted him to, to be able to get his bread or at least, be some type of success story. But
See,
I, mhm.
that's what I think everybody wanted, though. It was like that Hollywood ending. No, ain't no way
Yeah.
Frank was about to go off into the sunset and be free.
Yeah, and I agree. And just really thinking about it after I, of course, slept on it and, really put thought into it because it hurt me. I ain't gonna lie because it hits home because, like I said, I have an uncle where he was the man, like, just the
That's the
man.
point. I
And
feel like
literally in months, you went from just bread, chicks, everything. And then next time I saw him, he was strung out in the corner. You know what I'm saying? So it's so realistic, that type of, so I get why
yes,
they did it, but it was still hurtful to see that because you have that connection, like, dang, like, I didn't want you to go out like that. But you can see in the dialogue, it was kind of traces of him really kind of going off the deep edge a little bit, him not being able to sleep and, just really just having a lot of trauma. So I get it. I completely get it. I don't like it, but of course, it's a hard pill to swallow. I think that's the problem. It's a hard pill to swallow.
this was me for the longest with season 5 of The Wire. When Omar was shot by that kid, that was it for me. I was like, no way we about to do this and end this like this. We've been preparing for him to go up against Marlo. You seen what he did to the blind dude? Like, come on, no way we about to go here with this. And with this, with the way Franklin ended up, I honestly, I ain't gonna say I liked it, but I didn't expect it, and I
Yeah.
needed that. I had so many predictions and so many expectations, and when they went this route, I was like, "Whoa!"
Mm-hmm.
Hearing Leon call his name out, this like, nigga, I was ready to drop a tear. I was ready to drop a tear. I'm
I
telling
was
you,
so hurt. I was so hurt. But
like we
I
never
get it.
even watching Avon Barksdale. He in jail. I'm like, shit. I mean, he's still kind of the king. He's still kind of the man. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
I can live with it. Even characters like Weebay, Chris, or whatever, they seem like, hey, watching a character like Franklin though in that kind of position, it was just
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a polar opposite. Did a whole 180. It was hard to watch because we see where he came from. We followed him through that journey. So it's like, dang, like in a way it feels like he let us down, because without the 73, he still had other options, but he was so dead set on that one plan and it ruined him.
his girlfriend. Are you upset with her?
No.
Thank you, thank you. I'm not upset with her at all. I feel like she was absolutely holding it down until her very last straw, and I think she wasn't even about her. It was the child. It was like I
Facts.
got to make sure this child is cool. You choked out,
Facts.
Negro. You was gone at that point as far as Franklin. I feel like that was it.
Yeah, she rolled with him. I would probably, I don't know, like she took majority. If they had a meal and she took 8, I don't know, a little sympathetic me, I'll probably let me leave about 6.
Uh,
It depends on how it depends. But
see,
I definitely felt like she should have definitely taken some bread because that was pre-child support.
the reason I would say nah, no. And then she made a phone call to the man afterwards. You remember him talking to Leon? Said, "Yeah, you know, the bitch called me." Like, oh man. A
But he
reason I
went
agree
around
with
and
her.
did the same thing to her and went behind her back and sold all the business to the very man that, his mama was under. Like he was gone. He was gone. But she was
Um,
riding with him. I wasn't feeling V. I was suspect the whole
I,
time.
until that very point, I was always suspicious of her. Until
Yeah.
that point, what I will say is, I'm glad she did take all of it because when she told him the plan, he didn't like it. It's like, okay, may as well. I got to go ahead and do it now.
Mm-hmm.
She was very smart, man. She was trying, even after she found out Teddy was dead, she still was ready to like, let's go. Let's still go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's figure it out. Yeah.
How you feel as far as people saying that nobody looked out for him? His family, Leon, Sissy, everybody.
I
Let him down.
disagree. Because they did they just realized he was at a point where it was pointless. That's like that one family member that just you keep, you know what I'm saying? You keep borrowing, you keep borrowing. At some point you gotta say no. You know what I'm saying? Especially when your plan, like that whole plan about, flipping the money, like Franklin was never going to be able to keep up with them payments.
No way.
That money would have ran
no
wild.
way.
Like I'm about to give you all my bread. I got
shout
a
out
whole
to Leon being financially stable.
Yes,
like,
shout out to him.
$3 million after everything they done been doing. He still all right. Shout out Leon.
Shout out to Leon for real.
It was hard for me, and I'm thinking I'm still got to think about it a little bit as far as do I feel like they let him down, because I went back. I didn't go back and fully watch it, but just going back and cutting clips in here and there and seeing how many times he kept coming and the kind of weight they would put on him in situations. Andre, for example, I don't think he was going to kill Andre at first until it was like, you got to do something, Franklin. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Kevin, please, and stop, bro. Stop. Don't do this. Don't do this, please. Hey.
Yeah.
The only issue I probably had with this series finale is not getting a full thing with Oso and Lucien, his first chick.
Like, yeah, Lucia, I think.
What happened? Yeah. Where'd she go?
She in the wind in Mexico somewhere.
And Peaches probably was the person that made me the maddest, knowing that he had not went anywhere. He was right there
the whole time.
$5 million though.
No, $4,900,000. He had the 12.
No, we're not doing that. No, get that 12. Get that 12. And rest in peace to Miguel too. That was wrong, Franklin. Yeah, that was wrong.
At that point, I was like, all right, Franklin.
I get it though. I understood.
I got it.
It's like, man, nah, I'm tired of this. 12,000 out of 4 million. I even think I was more mad at Peaches than Teddy, if you want me to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Teddy's point of view, like, the government, I know your obsession. And before I get off this topic, though, I feel like this show is overall the addiction. Franklin, money, Sissy, and the family. That damn Leon. Who you feel like Leon's addiction was?
Leon's addiction? I don't want to say it's an addiction, but I would say with Leon, he more so had internal conflict. That was his issue. It was more like, just in fighting within himself, trying to save the community. But the question is at what cost? You was pretty much putting in the community over your wife. And, it's like he had a hard time with the juggling of everything. That was his main issue.
I think I would call Daddy's addiction, trying to change the people.
Yeah.
Teddy's addiction for me was the government.
Yes. Trying to be accepted and trying to please his father. That was his thing. Because they mentioned that plenty of times. He tried to please his father, trying to be accepted, trying to make him proud. Shout out to Pops.
Who?
Teddy's Pops.
I don't know. Shout out to Alton, man. I'll say rest in peace to Alton. Because I had hope. I did. And even when Teddy told her, Alton is alive, he in the Puerto Rico prison, I'm like, see, I told y'all. And the disgust on his face.